Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are celebrating 6 months with Rosie by doing more questions. We kind of did this with her 3-month birthday. We kind of did this with her 3-month birthday, and now we're going to do it with her 6-month and see how things have changed and what's new. Deidre's going to ask me some questions. She's going to answer them as well, but she actually knows what the questions are. I do not.
Well, it's the same questions we did last time, so just to kind of not the exact same questions, but mostly the same, to kind of follow her progress in the same areas. So, yeah. Also, she is right here next to us, and so if you hear some baby noises or some crinkling sounds, that is her. And she makes a lot of noise, so I'm not even going to try to edit over it or like stop talking while she's making noise, so you're just going to have to bear with it. So
It adds character to the video anyway.
yeah, I mean, what would it be a video about Rosie if
Rosie
she
wasn't in
was
it.
exactly makes it cuter. All right, so let's get into the first question. I'll let you answer your idea first. How would you describe her personality?
Oh, well, she's definitely a morning person. She seems to be the happiest in the mornings. She likes to smile at us when she wakes up, and she looks up at us and is just so happy to be awake and to start the day. She's a lot more vocal now.
She's talkative.
She's very talkative. Oh.
Not in English, but she is talkative. She's very easygoing. She is really good with strangers. She is just very chill, go with the flow. We put her through a lot of stuff, you know, traveling, long distances, and she just does really well, and we're so thankful for that. So I think that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite thing that she does right now?
Right now, it's when she laughs. A lot of times, the past few months, I had to tickle her a little bit or do something, but now sometimes you just look at her, make a funny voice, and she'll start laughing.
Yeah, she's definitely laughing a lot more, and even like in the past week or so, she's been laughing a lot more and a lot easier. She just seems to be in giggly moods a lot more often, which is so sweet. I mean, for me, it's probably like what she's doing right now. Like I also love laughing, but I love when she is able to play on her own and watching her explore the environment that she's in, because she, like, I don't know, it's just so amazing watching her figure out how to do things, you know, and you're like, oh my gosh, she's never done that before, and it's almost like every single time she plays, she's able to do something better or something new, so I think that's really cool to watch. Is she still a good sleeper?
She is. There are more times now that she'll wake up in the middle of the night, but she's still a very good sleeper. We're very spoiled.
Yeah, usually she wakes up for a reason, which I feel like most babies wake up for a reason, but for her, it's either because she has a wet diaper, which used to never really be a problem. She just never really peed through her diapers. She does, yeah. We do cloth diapers for her, so I don't know. She's just started peeing more, and we weren't putting her in diapers that were absorbent enough. So when we made that switch, she started sleeping through the night again, and then she woke up a few times last night because she wasn't feeling well. But usually there's like a very obvious reason why, and we can kind of anticipate it ahead of time. So it's overall, she's a good sleeper. She's still not an amazing napper. She still really loves being held, which is fine. It just makes it kind of hard to get things done sometimes, but we did get a new carrier that she likes to nap in a lot more, and she's also started to learn how to nap in her stroller. She did outgrow her Mamaroo though, and to be honest, when we filmed the 3-month video, I don't even know that she was able to nap in her Mamaroo at that point, or maybe she was just barely getting to that point, and now she's completely outgrown her Mamaroo. So she did get good at sleeping in it. She was okay. Yeah. At sleeping in it, and then she outgrew it. So good timing, but so we don't have anything to necessarily replace that. So it's a lot of napping in our arms, although she's napping less than she used to. She does some in the stroller. Yeah, you get the picture. Who is she most like?
She definitely looks more like you.
The
you know,
light
and her
hair, the light skin,
her
the
eyes especially. She looks a lot more like you, and especially when you see pictures of Deidre compared to Rosie now, you can really see.
Like baby pictures of me.
Yeah, not pictures of her now, baby pictures. Yeah, baby pictures of Deidre look a lot like Rosie now. Personality, I don't know. I don't know what I would say there.
I think she's more like you, hands down. Like the easygoing part, that's like you. The good sleeper part, that's like you.
It's true.
She was not a very good, not that this has really anything to do with the question, but just something I'm thinking about. We've recently started to transition her to baby foods. And at first I was like, she hates eating. She hates everything. She hated apple juice. She hated her rice cereal. She hated pureed food, everything. And then as we kind of also learned how to feed her and her eating patterns, we started to learn how to do it better for her. And so then she's had a better experience. So again, not that really had anything to do with the question, but she is getting really good at eating. She has tried a few different types of baby food and does a lot better with that now. So, which that's all new development. So she's doing really good. What nicknames do you use for her?
I still call her my little honey. A lot of times I call her Rosie Poo Poo. Yeah, that's it.
I call her Peanut all the time now. I used to never call her that. In fact, we had a lot of nicknames that I remember that we listed in our last video, and I probably don't use any of those anymore. I almost exclusively call her Peanut or Rosie. That's it.
Yeah, honestly, I call her a lot of things, but those are the most consistent ones for me.
Yeah. What are some things that Rosalia loves to do?
Well, she still really likes to read. That hasn't changed.
Yeah. And listen to music, all that
Listen
stuff.
to music, yeah. And she started to really like playing with her turtle.
Her baby Jim is shaped like a turtle.
Oh, yeah. I should specify these things. But she really likes sitting up and standing, not on her own. But, you know, we can kind of help her get that strength in her legs. And
she'll
really
stand.
enjoys that.
She'll stand with just like holding on to our fingers. So she really supports herself well, and yeah, she does not like laying down very much, which kind of adds to the whole napping situation.
Mm-hmm.
So the only time we can get her to really lay down is when she's playing with her rattle. Her rattle, honestly, that's our number one babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
It will entertain her for a really long time, as well as her little play gym, which we honestly waited way too long to start using that play gym, because as soon as I put her in it, I was like, oh my goodness, she like is content, and like she's playing, she's exploring, and I've noticed her development has taken off since then. I mean, it already was progressing really well, but it's only helped her develop even more, and she's learned where her feet are and things like that. So yeah, honestly, I wish we would have put her in that thing earlier, but oh well, she's in it now and she loves it. So yeah, I would say she does enjoy walks more than she used to. When we first started taking her on walks, she hated it. She enjoys them more now, which is good. She does love her therapy. She does therapy once a week, physical therapy, and she does really well. She really enjoys it. She loves all the new toys. What are your favorite memories with her?
I honestly really love the couple times I've been to her therapy with her. You know, obviously the therapist has a lot of experience and insight on how to get her to progress developmentally, and you can really see Rosie's brain just like working and like seeing her enjoying and playing, and like I feel like you really see her grow in those moments, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah. I can't think of like something that a memory that I'm like really hanging on to so much. She was a flower girl last week, and she'll be a flower girl again next week. And I thought that was really sweet. Obviously, I had to carry her down. She can't walk on her own. But I did love that memory and that whole experience. I love watching her interact with other people. I smile the whole time other people hold her, because I just feel like I just see how much joy other people get from her, and she usually just sits there like, what's going on? Like, she doesn't always like do things super cute, but I don't know, it just makes me happy that other people love her so much. And we have gone to the park with her a few times, and I really enjoyed those memories, even though she can't really do anything. I just think it's like, I don't know, it's cute to do those type of like very picturesque family things. So I don't know, I thought that was also a good one. How far has she come developmentally up to this point?
I think she's made a lot of progress in the past couple months, especially. You know, again, she's been seeing a therapist every week, and ever since then, we have also been kind of able to see like what we can do to help her. And Rosie picks it up very quickly. She's very smart. She's very quick to figure things out.
She just needs the tools.
Yeah.
Like, and we need the tools. We don't know how to help her all the time or the best ways. But when you show her something, and I mean, she really runs with it. I feel like since her 3-month update especially, she's started trying to hold her bottle. And I actually remember thinking right after we filmed that, like, oh, well, you know, if we would have waited just a few days to film that, we could have talked about how she's like starting to try to hold her bottle. And really, she hasn't made that much progress. We use glass bottles, so they're really heavy, so she can't really hold them on her own, but she is trying, and that's really cute. She is definitely babbling a lot more than she was at that time. I think we even like specified, like, she can say these vowels and these consonants, and now it's like she has her whole language figured out now. It just isn't English yet. Let's see what else. She's very close to sitting on her own. We have a little bumbo seat for her now, and she can sit up in that really well.
She's been doing really well recognizing like some cause and effect type things, you know, that if she hits something or if she does something a certain way, like it makes a sound, or how objects react, and you know, she's been very good about grabbing anything, really. Yeah,
she used to not. I remember the first time at therapy, the therapist was like, you know, clicking blocks in front of her. She was laying down on her back, and the therapist was like clicking blocks in front of her face, trying to get her to reach up and interact with the toy. And Rosie just laid there like, and she was like, you could tell she wanted to interact with the toy, but she didn't understand, like, oh, if I move my arm upwards, I can do that. And it's just amazing. Amanda is her physical therapist, and she was mentioning to me how much progress she's seen, and she was like, it's just amazing now, like, you hold a toy in front of her and she immediately grabs for it, and you don't really have to like stimulate her at all. She figured it out. And honestly, it was like after that first time, it was like immediate after that. She just needed someone to show her, hey, reach out for this toy, and she was like, okay, and then she did it all the time. So yeah, I mean, there's honestly so many things, I couldn't even list them all.
I will say though, one of my favorite things that she does, as far as like reaching out and grabbing things, when we read to her, sometimes she will grab the page and help us turn it.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
It is adorable. All right, so 2 more questions. What is the hardest thing about parenting her right now? I would just say how clingy she is.
I was about to say the same thing.
I'm not complaining at all, because it is so sweet. But the hardest thing is getting other things done other than taking care of her, because she wants to be with us all the time. She doesn't like laying down, and she can't sit up on her own. So she constantly wants us to pick her up, sit her up. She wants to be with us, and it's really, really sweet. But whenever I have a million other things to do, I'm like, I need a few more hands. And of course, like, using the carrier and things like that do help sometimes, but she doesn't always love to be in those things, so it just kind of depends on the day. And
it's almost as if she knows, you know, she wants to be held with both your hands, rocking back and forth, and she knows the moment you take one hand away to like do some work.
It's not as bad as it used to be, but it's the same. It's the same problem. She's very clingy. But again, it's perfectly fine, not complaining, just answering the question. a question that I wrote. And the last question is, how is it different when your baby has Down syndrome?
I think for me at this point, I'm starting to realize more of where a lot of other babies are developmentally. And, you know, therapists and pediatricians and doctors and such, they kind of have like, okay, well, these are goals to reach by 6 months. She should be doing this. And by 9 months, she should be doing this. And we're really trying to help her get to those points. But, you know, this is our first baby. If no one had told us that, we wouldn't have really known the difference.
Yeah. I would say most of the difference is not in her as a person. Obviously, like he's saying, there are some differences, but we don't always notice them. But the biggest difference that it's like pretty apparent to us is just our interactions with doctors and things like that. She obviously has therapy every week. She has multiple doctor's appointments all the time. And really, anytime anything goes wrong, everyone's always like, oh, well, kids with Down syndrome, this. So there are some things that she goes through that may be more attributed to the fact that she's Down syndrome. But honestly, like, who knows if that's the only factor or even the main factor. But not even just negatively. I think there's a lot of positives as well to the fact that she has Down syndrome. Just like the fact that she is so easygoing, that she sleeps so well at night. All these things, honestly, I think can be attributed to the fact that she has Down syndrome. Like, kids with Down syndrome are known to be sleepier babies, and she sleeps really well. I'm pretty sure that's why. So, I don't know, there's just some things like that that are, like, being a parent to a kid with Down syndrome is different because it's a lot more time consuming. You have to be very intentional about a lot of things. You have to be very careful about a lot of things. Just, you know, making sure if she's starting to do this, oh, well, she's not supposed to do that like that, you know, to make sure that has the best chance at developing correctly, we need her to do this. And so there are some differences like that. Honestly, it's nothing too big. Honestly, the biggest situation that we're going through right now is just medically that there are some issues with her heart that we're trying to get sorted out. So that's kind of the biggest thing, and it's not like insanely serious, but it is something that I would hope we wouldn't have to deal with. I mean, with any child, obviously, but I don't think we would be in this situation if she didn't have Down syndrome. And it's obviously not a fun situation to be in, like watching your kids go through health issues, but really, that's it. I would say most of the differences are positive.
Yeah.
She agrees. So I guess that's it. That's Rosie's 6-month update. Obviously, there's probably 100 more things we could talk about and 100 more stories we could tell, but I feel like that covers a lot of the big stuff. So I don't know, I'm interested to like finish this video and go back and watch them both and just like see how different, because I think you just kind of forget, and when you're with her every day, you kind of forget that she couldn't do that a few days ago or a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago. So that'll be interesting to see how our answers have changed, and I hope to continue to do this so we can continue to see how our answers change over time and how she changes over time. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next one.